All right. So let's go. Washington last Thursday turned in boxes and boxes, dozens of them. Those boxes contained petitions for folks that had signed on for a repeal of Washington's new income tax, the 9.9% tax on income above $1 million or combined household income in excess of $1 million. We won't find out if, in fact, they've got enough valid voter signatures to get qualified for the November ballot for about another 2.5 weeks, it sounds like, according to what I'm hearing from the Secretary of State's office. They only need 308,911 valid voter signatures to qualify. So, here during that event last Thursday is Let's Go Washington's founder, Brian Heywood.
Over 500,000 people took the time out of their day to sign this initiative to get it on the ballot. I have a friend who came up to me. He said, Brian, I'm a Democrat socialist. And you'd go, oh, Brian, that's weird that you have a friend like that. But I do. And we're good friends. But he said, there's no way I'm going to vote for this, but give me one of the sheets and I'll sign it. So there's at least one Democrat socialist that signed this because he believed in the process of giving people an opportunity to vote. God bless America. God bless Washington State. Thank you for gathering the signatures.
So, with this initiative 645, or it's technically IP 26, Initiative to the People for the Year 2026, 645, it seems with more than 500,000 signatures, they're going to have enough even to account for folks who may have inadvertently signed twice, or they're not a registered voter and they shouldn't have signed those petitions. But if in fact it is certified, then it's going to be on the November ballot. It will be one of three Let's Go Washington initiatives on the November ballot. We have two that are already qualified. Those concern protection of girls in sports and keeping boys out of girls' locker rooms and bathrooms, and the restoration of parental rights. So you get to know what's happening with your child at school. If your child is gender confused and seeking consult from the school, they have to tell you. They can't keep it a secret. So, just ahead of that event, again, last Thursday in Tumwater, had a chance to speak to GOP Chairman Jim Walsh, who represents Aberdeen, about the potential repeal of the income tax and why this is so important to his constituents.
The Washington Democrats are in desperate trouble. They've been hijacked by radical, irrational leftists. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They're communists, they're collectivists, and they're pushing a Vladimir Lenin, Joseph Stalin, Pol Pot, Saul Alinsky agenda. They use words like reparations. They don't even know what that means. And it's one of the ironies that they demand reparations to people, but at the same time, they want to open the borders to open immigration. It is inherently and internally inconsistent. And there were sections of the platform that are blatantly anti-Semitic, blaming Israel for the violence in the Middle East, saying they brought it on themselves, that they were attacked by terrorists. It's crazy stuff, and it's a testament to how that party has been commandeered by the communists.
And I want to share a bit of one of the folks who spoke at the event in Tumwater last Thursday, a gentleman I've spoken with before and shared on our episodes of Washington in Focus Daily, and that is Zach Abraham, Principal and Chief Investment Officer at Bulwark Capital. He's joined the fight against the income tax, may or may not end up relocating if it doesn't get repealed. But this is part of what he told the crowd at that event last week.
Was if you want to do this, there's a legal way about going about doing it. You can amend the Constitution. You can uphold the rule of law. But the way you're doing it is you're fracturing a social contract, right? Meaning if you do this, how do I trust you not to do anything else, right? So one of the things I think we all need to come together on and realize here is that this is a last stand. I'm a Washington kid, born and raised, right? Grew up in Gig Harbor. My wife and family and I live down there now. And we don't want to leave. I don't want to go anywhere. And we're going to stand here and fight it to the end, even if the state decides that they don't like what I said in an op-ed and audits me out of nowhere. And There's another thing that I've learned in this process so far is that the only way they get away with doing things like this is fear, right? It's fear of oppression. So you know the first thing I did when I got that audit notice? I called Brandy and I said, Brandy Cruz, and I said, hey, let's hop on and do an episode. We'll show everybody this audit notice, right? We're not going to run from it. We're not going to hide. You might take some money from me. Maybe you'll cause a problem. Maybe you'll hit me with some kind of, who knows what they can do. But they've been able to get a lot of us to be quiet for a long time for fear that we'd be targeted. Well, guess what? Go ahead and target all you want. I've had enough, right? And we cannot take this stuff lying down, right? It is a violation. Like I said, it's a violation of our constitutional rights. And if this stands, we're all smoked.
Now, Zach Abraham previously told me he's in it to stay now and fight the fight. He doesn't want to leave the state. He loves living here. He's raising kids here and has been here for many, many years. But if, in fact, the income tax is upheld or if voters don't repeal it, and or the courts decide that they believe it's legal and not against the Washington state constitution, he's already been making some plans to potentially relocate to Arizona or Idaho, and has told me he knows a lot of other wealthy Washingtonians who are making the same plans.